everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and welcome to episode 95 of In Focus Friday. Now, last week we had a look at the very cool Solid Silver Monkey by M. Sagan 75. It's a very cool piece of community sandcasted poured silver, and Mike Sagan also sent me through a little tiny 2-gram Bowie knife as a Brucey bonus. So if you haven't checked those out, please do go have a look. The link is down in the description below. Now, as you can see, the winner from last week's vote was the Britannia, the 2010 1-ounce gold Britannia. You guys are suckers for things which are gold, big and shiny apparently, which has of course meant that the Prospector bars and the Bull and Bear round have once again fallen short to making it on In Focus Friday. So thank you for voting if you did, and I know there's a lot of you out there who've been voting for the Prospector bars and the Bull and Bear round for the last, 6 or 7 weeks that they've been here, so there will not be any extra items on this week's episode. You will be voting simply between the Prospector bars and the Bull and Bear round, so make sure you stick around to the end of the episode to have a look at them and cast your vote for what you want to see next time. But today we are going to be focusing on this 2010 gold Britannia. And it's a very, very cool coin. It's one I have shown on my channel before. I used it when I was talking about whether or not it was a good or bad purchase, or whether it was a big mistake to purchase this coin when I did, because when I purchased it, gold prices plummeted the day after. So one could argue that I could have spent £20–30 less on this particular coin. But it's just one of those things that you never know what's going to happen with the metals markets. And, for me, it was all about sticking to a plan, sticking to a budget, sticking to a kind of weight buying plan. And that's what I did. And this was the coin that I decided to buy. And I have no regrets about buying it, because boy, is it pretty. Just look at that. So this 2010 gold Britannia represents, for me anyway, a kind of cheap piece of gold, albeit slightly more expensive than it maybe could have been, granted, but still cheap premium gold over spot that I purchased. She purchased it second hand from a bullion dealer called Atkinson's. A lot of you in the UK have probably heard about them. They're a very good, reputable dealer, and this was bought second hand from them, so it was bought at a pretty low premium. It was about, I think it was 3.25% over spot when I bought it, so very good priced gold, especially when you consider it's a 8-year-old Britannia, and it's one of these very, very cool looking Britannias. Now, even though I maybe paid more than I should have done for it, one could argue that actually this is more than just a kind of 3% over spot piece of gold. There are lots of these out there available on various different dealers' websites, and they command a pretty decent premium. Even right now, you'd be looking buying these straight from a dealer rather than second hand at like $9.50, $9.40, $9.50, $9.60 sometimes, depending on the dealer. So one could think that this represents something that's a little bit more than just a piece of bullion grade gold, and if it is, that's great. But if it's not, then it's just sticking in that premium, low premium pot for the pension in the future. So here's a little bit of facts and figures about the Britannia. So this particular Britannia 2010 is made of 22 karat gold, which means it's got a fineness of 91.66 recurring percent. The other constituent part of this coin is silver, which is very cool, because you're basically getting some free silver within the coin, which is very nice to think about. It's designer, so on this side we have Susie Zammit, which is a very, very talented designer. I have to say, she's done a great job on this Britannia. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And of course on the back we have the famous Ian Rank Broadley portrait of the Queen. You can see here on the back it's £100, so it is an important coin in that regard, because it's capital gains tax exempt here in the UK, which means that when you eventually come to sell it, any profit on it is not used as a calculation for your capital gains in that year, which is obviously very important if you're looking to collect for 30 plus years worth of time, because hopefully gold will increase as with inflation basically, or even above and beyond inflation if there was a big run on gold in the future. It weighs 34.05 grams, and that's because it's 22 karat gold, so it's more than 31.105. I think that's a troy ounce off the top of my head. And you can see here it's represented by 1 ounce fine gold, because there's 1 ounce of fine gold in here, so whilst it weighs 34.05, if you multiply that by the 91.66 recurring, that gives you 1 ounce of gold. So there we go, that is the kind of the facts and figures about it. Let's just talk about this design though. So the Britannia, this is what kind of drew me to this, I suppose. The fact that it's an older coin and it could grow in premium as a collector's item is obviously something really important to consider. But at the same time, if I can buy a piece of cheap gold at a decent premium over spot that I have a great kind of connection to, that I really like, that I look at and go, boy, yeah, that's a really cool coin, I think that's a great design, then that's for me. I'm a collector at heart, but I'm also a stacker and pension collector, and this ticks all of those boxes. It ticks that pension pot stack, it ticks the preserving wealth stack, it ticks the collector's side of me as well, and even more so now that I have obviously the 2011 Britannia with the slightly different design, and now this one as well. It's very cool indeed. Now there's one other thing I want to show you about this coin, which is obviously it's made of 22 karat gold, which is a cool thing because it means it's a little bit more durable. It's not going to get dinged and dented quite so easy. But when you put it next to a 999 gold coin, you can definitely see the difference. Now I hope the camera is kind of doing it justice. I think it is, but basically you can see the kind of colour difference in these two coins, and I personally really much prefer the 22 karat gold coin over the 999 gold coin, but I would like to know your thoughts and opinions on this. Which of these do you prefer? I think they both have obviously different merits to them in terms of what they're all about and why you would want to buy either pure gold or why you'd want to buy 22 karat gold. Of course, the pure gold represents the absolute purity there, and you know, worse, push comes to shove, one might be able to you know, melt this gold coin down into smaller constituent parts down in the future if that was so required in a kind of post-economic apocalyptic scenario where gold then suddenly became a barter tool. It would be easier to use this as a you know, something to divide up into smaller pieces or to use in industry, whereas a 22 karat gold obviously has all of the sort of silver mixed in there as an alloy, and it would be harder to use in that respect. Also, aesthetics. I really like the way that this 2010 gold coin looks. I think it's just got a little bit more subtle a gold look. Obviously there's the frosted finish here, which doesn't give as good a kind of reflection off the light as the Britannia here, but I prefer this kind of subtle look and this frosted finish look to the shiny kind of yellow gold. We'll just put that in the background so you can see the colour difference in the background. But I prefer the subtle look and approach to the kind of 22 karat gold side of things. Ultimately, it doesn't really make much difference because it's still an ounce of gold, and you know, it's an investment piece of bullion. People are going to buy it just for the gold content, buy it for the numismatic content, not necessarily because it's 100% or 99.99% pure gold or not. So in that respect, it really doesn't actually make a difference at all. I guess one of the nice things is it's a little bit more durable, so if I was to accidentally drop it right now, it's probably got less chance of having a giant ding in it than a pure gold coin. But let's be honest, I'm hopefully not going to drop it, and as soon as I'm finished filming here, it's going to go back in its capsule and back in the lockbox and safe, so it probably won't be getting out again for a while unless I do some more video filming on it, of course. So yeah, there we go. I'd love to know your thoughts on this coin generally, on the design, whether it's something that you have, whether it's something you would want to get, whether it's something that you are going to get. That's always a fun thing for me to hear about here on my channel. And if you like this coin, if you like this video, please put a thumbs up on it and share it around on your social media. So there we go, that is the 2010 1 ounce gold Britannia. Now the returning items from the last few weeks. Okay, we have here the Prospector bars. Now I've got two of them. We'll show them both on the camera next week because they're both very subtly different, and that's one thing that's very cool about those. So if you'd like to see those Prospectors Golden Gems little tiny bars, then please vote for them. And then we have the Bull and Bear Caveat Ventador or Ventador round. This has been here for like the last 6 or 7 weeks. It's a very interesting one, and if you want to vote for that and hear my thoughts on the kind of bull and bear symbolism and market, then please do vote for that. Otherwise, as I said, if you like this video, please put a thumbs up on it, and if you want to see more In Focus Fridays, I have, of course, 94 other episodes down in the playlist, and you can probably see those in the playlist down below. Otherwise, now is the perfect time to subscribe to my channel, not only if you'd like to see more episodes of In Focus Friday, because there will be one next week, of course, but because this weekend I have an announcement about 5,000 subscriber giveaway, which is very exciting, so please make sure that you stick around. Hit that notification bell if you want to get a notification when that video goes live on Sunday. Certainly not one to miss. Otherwise, that is all I have to say. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend ahead. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.